Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 33 of Kenshi. So, I have a lot of tips I'd like to share with you all. Chibi Bahamut mentioned that the grain silo is a wonderful way to level up farming. It is a farming skill that prevents them from failing like crazy. So what I'm going to do immediately is to have Gecko. I'm going to have Aramid basically take off the grain silo, knowing that. And then I'm going to put Gecko on it full time to have Gecko grind out some farming skill. So let's see that in action. Now, before I just stare at her do that, I wanted to first... What is this, a heavy on my back? Yeah. That is for training purposes. Let's get everyone home because I have some other tips to share, which include everyone being home. So another tip was G. Wilson asking about training tanks or martial artists. Yes, I still intend to do this. In fact, at some point, I'm going to add Chad. Chad is a natural martial artist. Now, I haven't made my way over to Chad yet, but once I get going to add Chad to the group, he'll be our martial artist. Maybe I'll add some more martial artists, but Chad is a unique NPC that likes martial artists, or likes martial arts, I should say. So he'd be a great person to start doing martial arts. Now, of course, I have been training Dr. Chung in it. I can't say he's great at it yet, you know, whopping 6. But with his gear, he goes up to level 20. The advantage of martial arts is you sort of, the way the combat system works, or as far as I understand it, there is sort of a strike first mentality. If you have first strike, the way a martial artist tends to have, you are able to sort of stun lock, beat down enemies in a way that a weapon would not allow for. So if we look at Gecko here, the farming skill is in fact increasing. That was a great tip. We'll put Gecko on just pure wheat straw grinding. Looking at my farmers, we have Gecko at 32 and Bark at 32. So they're about at the same. So it doesn't really matter which one we use. Now I have everyone returning home and healing up. They're all making a mad dash for beds or idle. Chung, stone processor you can't use because it's empty. Well, then mine then. And once everyone's somewhat healthier, I'm going to send Rhadamant to go do some errands. And these errands are going to entail making sure that everyone has helmets, proper helmets, because we have some people without helmets and they're getting knocked out, and that's entirely my fault. Like Rain, for instance, with no helmet. And also better backpacks. Hamet is out of range, okay. Just barely, probably. Alright, so all these high-grade jackets we can sell. Eventually, once I feel like I have enough money, I will start to accumulate the high-grade jackets for my farmers. But I'm not quite at that point yet. I don't feel comfortable doing that just yet. I'd rather have the money gained. So what I'm doing is trying to arrange my inventory so that I can store these things for trade. Put on some wooden sandals. And we'll get going. Alright. Given the time of day, I'm going to go up to Mongrel. We closed this gate, didn't we? Alright, let me try that again. I'm going to go up to Mongrel. Because I am looking to buy helmets. and backpacks. Now, if I really wanted backpacks, I'd join the Shinobi Thieves. So that's something else I can do once I accumulate the money for it. Is join them and... Alright, Mew and Hobbs I'm just going to set on the stone mine just so that we have no one idling. Actually, with that in mind, you two... Just, actually, I would rather you idle. Instead, what I'm going to do... Where are you running to? Is set the skeletons to it, because they don't consume food while working. Wike, you are going to rest a little bit more. Rhadamant's on his... Oh, he's a little encumbered, but he's still faster than everyone else. So some other tips. Run Van Dorp mentioned that I really ought to have more backpacks and more helmets. That's a very, very good point. Rain and Ruka both got knocked out due to the lack of helmets. And then Lai mentioned I ought to work towards steel and steel production. That's also a very good point. So Mr. Chung here has the books that allow me to do that. So let's go ahead and go into tech and go into steel bars. Looking at everything else, I don't think I want anything else yet. I'll conserve what we have, but the steel bars will be good, and we'll put the research bench back up on a higher priority. And that will allow me to make a lot of things. That will allow me to make the chainmail and the weapons. And I also should probably start working on hemp and whatnot. I'm still waiting. Oh, I guess we actually do have this farm up and ready. Heft. Oh, Gecko was the only one doing it in the inverse. So Heft, I'm going to clear her everything out and have her work inversely to the other farmers. Okay, that ought to work. Molly, yeah, Molly's fine. Just keep mining that iron. Same with you, Bard. Checking in on Rhadamant. There is some death yards that I have to avoid. But I'm doing a pretty good job of that. Alright, now for the people that are not resting but should be, I'll force sleep them. Wike, you can get up. Sadneil, you can work at the stone processor. Ideally, they'd have better backpacks, especially the farmers and miners and stuff like that. It's definitely something I need to do. It's a high priority. Alright, Beep's got a backpack. Let's give this to Sadneil real quick. Sadneil, would you be a willing Sherpa in order to empty out these farms so that we could just farm and not haul? This is sort of microing is not something I'm going to do constantly. I'm just doing it to speed up food production because I'm, I want to get my people fed as quick as I can. Ideally, in the future, we'll have someone set to haul this stuff full time, and that will allow for a little bit higher productivity. We definitely are building up a nice surplus of hemp. Now, hemp is used both for fabrics and for medicine, so that's a pretty handy little thing to have stocked. As you see here, we can now start to make standard first aid kits. A standard first aid kit takes fabric and hemp. I don't have anyone working on that at the moment, but maybe that's something that Dr. Chung will do once he is done with his current job of getting a bunch of tech done. In fact, we have a big backlog of tech. I'll get through this backlog. I just hand gestured towards the backlog, but yeah. Sometimes I find myself hand gesturing and then realizing that you all probably can't see me, and it's kind of a little stupid to hand gesture. But old habits, you know, they die hard. All right, Aramid, are you doing a good job feeding people? You have a dust witch out. Why aren't you putting bread in the bread basket? Probably because I haven't told you to. Haul to bread basket. Because, yeah, if the oven fills up, the bread oven fills up, he won't continue cooking. But I think we have an excess of bread. We have a lot of bread in this community, so it would not be a problem just to keep cranking it out. Alright, Rhadamant here is stuck or something. It says you... Oh, I'm loading the zone. Oh, we still have this heavy. You know what? Put this heavy down. We'll find more heavies. There'll be heavies in the future. We don't necessarily need to use this specific heavy for brawling. Now, there was some comments about how the prince is and how I... Basically, the thought is, every time you put anyone on a pole, a prince spawns. And you can sort of farm princes that way, and it is somewhat exploitative. I'm not planning on exploiting any sort of loopholes that I find like that. I was just not even realizing that that necessarily was an exploit. I was curious if that's how it worked, and that is indeed how it works. So that's good knowledge to know. If I ever see an escaped servant or someone screaming down there that they're being eaten, it also means that there's a prince down there, and I can always go prince headhunting if I see fit. So it's informative more than anything else. Alright, Silver Shade, you are all healed up. That's cool. Anyone that's a little wounded, I can just throw into a bed. Because I intend to go hunting. I really want swamp turtles and whatever else I can find in the swamp. I want to take chunks out of them for some meat surplus. So I feel like I have been feeding my people okay. The caveat of okay being that I'm constantly like on the brink of not having food. What can you do for me? You can buy a lot of stuff. And now I have 26k. That's pretty... That feels good. I was poor for a long time. I'll buy some building materials to get that outpost, that watchtower done. I think it might be a good idea to try to... He's just telling me about the death yards. And let's see if there's actually one more person to recruit here. I could use like another farmer cooker, someone to like haul around, or even a miner or stone processor. I could use another hand or two. And I feel like I can feed them too. Jafar. Pay his bounty. I'm not going to redesign him. Another Greenlander, so that will be good. He is going to switch squads. I guess I'll finally recruit a Hotlongs. Maybe a Stin. Oh, you are more combat than anything else. Alright, Hotlongs. I can't even see your face, Stin. You have quite the Fu Manchu, I think, going on there. Chinese for Manchu beard. Alright, so these two, you're going to be on passive, and you're going to run like hell and not stop until you get to the outpost. I think both of you came with wooden sandals. Both of you are going to drop your toppers. You actually told me both that you're good with a katana, but then you have toppers. That actually, neither of that was true because you were just average with everything. Alright, Rhadamant will grab the toppers, and the reason I had them drop their toppers is it was slowing them down a little bit. Not really, but they are slightly faster than Fogmen. That, and I can always, you know, save them if I need to. So if I wanted to join the Shinobi, well, let's first check for helmets. I have 16k still. And I do need to oh, they have 2 helmets I can use. The shoddy ones I'm just leaving because I don't really care for shoddy stuff. That might be something I want to buy later on. Alright. And then, what else am I looking for? Backpacks. Now, the Shinobi Thieves sell their thief backpacks that I like to use at discount. So, joining them and then buying even a few of their backpacks will be beneficial. This guy only has wooden trader backpacks. I really want the Shinobi Thieves ones, as I said. So, I have 12k left. What I'll do is I'll deliver these helmets. And then I'll swing by Squin on my way to this swamp to do some hunting. Now that my hometown has a decent force, a decent number of people to help guard. And once this tower is all set up and I have harpoons, I can really keep enemies off my walls. In a very productive way. Alright, you guys, you run here. Rhadamant's running here too. I'm going to set Rhadamant to passive because I don't need him intercepting anyone. And he is not running on the path. Alright. Ruka still beat up quite a bit. Let's use my hotkeys. Hamet. Mew, go to sleep. Crumble, go to sleep. Stubbs, you're barely wounded, but go to sleep. Anyone that's sleeping, we feed less, so even if they're not hurt, it does benefit me to just have them in the bed. Alright, Aramid, you say you have nothing to do. Is this true? If it's not true, I'm going to be mad. Oh, it is true. Wasn't really going to be mad. Someone's chasing Rhadamant. Someone's chasing the other citizens. They can chase. Now, the trouble is that as soon as they take a swing, I'm going to outrun their swing. That's sort of the way the combat works. So, although it looks like I'm basically being overrun by these fogmen, they actually don't pose that much of a risk to me. Oh, their run speed are all 19, aren't they? And my run speed is about 19. This looks like, oh yeah, they took one swing. They hit a hot lungs in the chest. This looks very silly. I am watching because, let me do a track camera. Run, hot longs, run! This is like a new, eviler version of running with the bulls. Running with the cannibals. Oh, that was a terrible joke. And that might become the title of the episode, because I love bad dad jokes. Alright, so she is getting beat up a little bit. If I need to stage a rescue, I always can. But I think they'll be fine. She keeps getting hit in the chest, though. But she's now sort of outrunning them. And this is also good athletics training, I guess. Because the pawns that you can hire from the start have terrible athletics. A lot of them do, at least. Not all of them. Alright, Rhadamant's already here because he runs a lot faster. I'm keeping it paused just so I can keep an eye. So, Oron, you don't have a helmet. And Rain, you don't have a helmet. So now you both do. Ruka does have a helmet, though. Okay. I think everyone has helmets now except for the skeletons, but that's because they don't have a head slot. Alright, they are only a stone's throw away. I'm curious if this giant group of fogmen are actually going to follow me all the way up. I'm thinking they will, so I'm thinking I don't shy away from fights. Let's go prepare to bash these little jerk cannibals. What I will do is set everyone else to passive. I don't need Heft, Bard, Bark, all these people coming out. Gecko, etc. Alright, come on. Big death blob right here. Alright, you stupid cannibals. Guess what? You messed with the wrong town. Let's get rid of this backpack. Oh, where are you going? Look, all of them are like disbanding. Unfortunately for this this dude here. What, do you have no arms? Yeah, he has no arms. Oh. What do you call a fogman with no arms and no legs? Bitey. He literally can't even do it. Oh man, that's funny. Cripple his arms and he just flees because he has no ability to do anything else. Okay, well that was a pretty underwhelming fight. We'll heal up a little bit and go on that safari before I run out of time here. Now I do need to give Jafar and Hotlongs jobs, but I'm gonna let them heal up first. That would be the kind thing to do, I think. Alright, of all the people that I have, who took damage? Not many of them. As you can see, I can get in a fight with a whole lot of fogmen and take, like, a countable on one hand number of hits. Which is pretty neat, I'd have to say, as we're getting better at melee block and toughness and all that. So, I gotta find who's the worst off. Maybe it's Hobbs. Hobbs's head. But I don't need to wait that long. What I ought to do is to load some sleeping bags up before we go on our little safari. So we can treat this watchtower as a place to train skills as well. I'll put a lot of the training dummies and lock boxes and stuff in there. Guess I'll upgrade my iron plates. I already have that research. It looks like I'm gonna need another green fruit and cactus farm, and that's fine. I'm just kind of... I find myself waiting a long time for that stuff. Alright, 4 backpacks on you. And... Yep. Alright, we have all the backpacks. Alright, let's waste no more time. Turn jobs off. In fact, let's go through all of them. Well, we can leave them engineering, I guess. That doesn't hurt. But I'm going to go through them, and anyone that has a non... Oh, Griffin. Medic, rescue. So not only was Griffin getting beat up a lot last episode, so these jobs the skeletons had, we'll get rid of. Because Jafar and Hotlongs got hired for that very purpose. Did I weigh you down too much, Kang? No, I didn't. You're not even encumbered. Alright, slowest person, probably Weeke, or no, Sadneil. So let's follow Sadneil. And Sadneil, you are going to run to Squin, I think I said. Oh, actually, run to Hub, because we want to join the Shinobi Thieves. That was the deal. Alright, Miss Heft, you get some shoes. And these guys really need, the farmers and all that, really need backpacks to be able to carry the crop in. That would make them a lot more efficient. So that's a big goal that I have. Let's also close this gate. Because although we have some numbers here, I don't have a whole lot of faith that these people can defend themselves. I could unleash Pingu on them, though. Hotlongs. Alright, you two are healed up, mostly. So, Jafar, I think I'm going to make a super hauler. Hauling pretty much every basket I can find, and then when not hauling, mining. And then Hotlongs is just going to mine for now, mining stone. And then if the stone mine's full, stone processing. Oh, and Jafar also haul to the food store. In fact, put the food store top. If there's food to be had, we'll put it in. So that's a dude that needs a backpack like pronto, if he's doing all the hauling. And I don't even think we have a backpack for him. No, we don't. Who are you? You're escape servants. Really? You're gonna attack me? I mean, okay. That's fine. I'm not so sure that it will serve you to attack me, as I am not exactly the friendliest force to fight with. That, and I don't really like the Holy Nation, so the fact that Holy Nation outlaws are picking fights with me confuses me a little bit. But, speaking of which, let's go and check my factions. So, Cannibals, Dust Bandits, they are obviously very hostile to me. Shek kind of like me, but barely. I've turned in some bounties to them, and that's the only reason. Then Starving Bandits don't like me, but they're not necessarily hostile. They'll just attack me if I have food on. Speaking of which, I don't have food on me right now, so so once we get to Hub, we should ought to fill up a little bit on food. Okay, I guess everyone's already patched up. That's how little damage they did to me. That's pretty cool. I can get behind that. Hub it is. I'm just looking around to see if there's any, there was any obvious beak things, because that would be a good way to make some food. Also be a good way to get beat up a lot, but... Burn, are you slower? No, you're not slower. You're just not keeping up. I'm just keeping tabs on these farm fields, making sure that we are indeed... Everything seems to be going well. Gecko was the one that's supposed to grain silo, so that means we're out of grain, and we are. That's good to know. At some point, I will have all of the home force that I need and want, and I'll know exactly how much food it takes to feed the home force. Bard's the only one engineering. That's going to take a little while, buddy. And the Shrike is still hammering out plates and armor. Not bad. I'll even give you this. Chung, you are important enough. Alright, checking back on the main little army force, whatever, the Raiden. We're running around, up to no good. Making trouble in the Shek neighborhood. Ooh. So, that's a big beak thing nest. We are going to steer awfully clear of that. We don't want to get eaten. As it states, this is in fact an Ironman play. Otherwise known as dead is dead. So if I die, there's no coming back from that. That's also why I've been sort of playing it safe. Anyone that remembers their first few hours in Kenshi probably can contest or attest to the fact that it's very, very easy to get unbelievably super murdered in this game. One of the beautiful things about this game... Oh, here's some big things coming into the hive. Let's go sort of encourage the fight, if you know what I mean. Because we could definitely profit off the animal skins and food. The Hiveless, they're pissed that I brought Silvershade Beep and Green in here. So they're not going to really trade with me. But what I can do is I can lure the beak things towards the rest of the hive group or something. Alright, Ruka, you are going to change backpacks in a second. I'm just going to switch that out. So I'm going to have her stock up on this stuff. Alright, so I don't want to over encumber her, so I think that's probably her limit. Voth, you're next. And actually, if I put the... let's go back to Ruka. If I put this in, that should save some weight. Voth. Ooh, too heavy. But I can't put that back. Trade with Oron. Let's see. The weight encumbrance reduction 60%, 50%. Now I think about it, it might just make more sense to switch these around and do it like this. Because we don't have a lot of stacks of stuff. We just have a lot of stuff. Yeah, that makes more sense. Oron. I guess we can start fighting these things too, right? Now all this ruined food is good for the hive that I have. I'll have to fix this wooden backpack issue in a minute. So there we go. We'll give this to Rain. Have her wear it. She's slightly encumbered. I'll fix all this soon. Stop hitting Sad Neil. Alright, Sad Neil's getting repaired. Let's see. I'm at least going to grab all of the meat off of these guys, because what I can do is just build a campfire and have Rhadamant start cooking. And that way we can sort of feed ourselves. Alright, we'll try to fill our bags with stuff without over-encumbering too far. That's the real trick. So we're trying to stay above 20. So Kang needs to trade something off. Okay, Beep has building materials. That doesn't make any sense. And I really ought to loot all of them fully. So right now I'm just going to get beat up until we fully take whatever we can from them. Silver Shade. Okay. Encumbered, but not beyond the point of no return. Just sort of spreading the weight out around here. Now, all this sort of ruined fowl meat is still pretty useful because we can feed it to the hive and they don't mind. Alright, Rain, you are too heavy. Rain, trade with Weekay. Okay, Rain is good. Weekay is good. I think everyone's good. Let me go through real quick. Who is at 24? Hobbs and Hamet. You guys have extra weight. I'll load you up. And Hamet, we'll make sure... Oh, there we go. We still didn't have everything looted. And there's more. There's always more. Oh god, there's a lot more. Oh, wow, this is... Okay, let's turn and fight. Now that some of the hive has joined. This is like a straight invasion here. And Mew's down. This is a fun fight, though. Not one I'm planning on avoiding. Alright, Oren, let's take just one piece of meat to make sure it's dead. Even the gorilla is attacking us. This is great. Hamet, again, you can't take a piece of meat. Burn, can you? You can take a lot. I might end up selling my animal skins because A, it's a lot of money, and B, I'm filling up pretty quick here. Alright, let's attack this stupid gorilla that picked a fight with us. Gorillos suck to fight because they aren't worth much. Alright, I'm going to set everyone to passive and have them stand around and heal up. Man, this village took a beating. Who has inventory space? Rhadamant, you do. Let's make sure these things stay dead. Actually, first, this thing. This is right next to us. Just taking one from each. Yeah, we already took one from there. Because as soon as you loot them like that, they die. So if I check, see this one's unconscious, only for 42 more ticks. Take one piece of leather and it's dead forever. That's exactly what we want to do. Kill them off so we don't have to fight them again. Now, Rhadamant is super encumbered. What I'm going to do is have him go try to trade. They're probably not going to trade with me as long as I have Hiveless around. So I'm going to need to send my Hiveless. In fact, I'm going to send everyone away except for Rhadamant. Because I don't want the Hiveless to get in some sort of terrible fight and be messed up. And Rhadamant can just run into a building and take cover. Nope, they'll already trade with me, which is sweet. I thought they'd put up a little bit more of a fight, considering I have Hiveless so close. But they aren't. Now I can go through everyone's backpacks. Alright, he's already out of range. Already out of range. Most of them are out of range. Okay. What if they came a little bit closer in range, and let's have them run at their own pace. Some are crippled, and we have to patch them up. So now that I've already initiated the trade window, the Hive can't change his mind about trading. That's just not the way the game works. And that will allow me to sell off all of the animal skins much more easily. Even from someone like Silvershade that normally would never interact with. Which is odd, because he is a prince. And there's a lot more leathers to be had out there, but already you can see I'm up to 26,000. So now I'm going to go to green and buy their toothpicks. And actually I'm going to go on each one of these guys that just have no meds. And that's pretty good. Alright, Mr. Rhadamant, you're going to clean up the rest of these guys for leathers, and then once we have all the leathers, we'll make sure to bring all the food too. It's a very profitable little hunting trip. Why did you all of a sudden get so heavy, Kang? You're not. Okay. You lying to me. And anyone with crippled limbs, especially legs, we can... No, I was looting this with Ruka. Some of these over here might still have their leathers. Voth. You're almost overweight. Oh, this is acid water? Well, that sucks. Let's get out of the acid ASAP. Although our acid coverage is pretty good. Acid shouldn't hurt that bad as a result. Voth needs to offload some of his weight. So Kang, Ruka... Ruka, you still have some capacity here. Wow, she is strong. Oh my god, she still doesn't mind this weight? Jesus, she is... Alright, perfect. That is like all the weight I could possibly fill her up on, and she's like, I don't care, this is fine. How strong is she? 29? That's pretty good. Voth, you should be more like Ruka, with a strength of 9. Yeah, he never did the strength training regiment that the other ones did. Rain the Giant, you're pretty full up. Hamit, you got some weight on you. Rhadamant, where are you? You were... The Gorillos over here had some leather. There we go. And then trade that away. Everyone here go to the campfire because there'll be food. And s'mores. It'll be delicious. Alright, we're looking for more meat so that Hamit can haul it. Here some is. And more. Hobbs. We can fill you up a little bit more too. This is a lot of food. All this foul meat is going to keep that Pengu fed for like years to come. Alright, Miu got a little bashed up. She's going to need a bed. But this is exactly the profit of the kind of trip we wanted. Alright, so let's double check everything that we can check. Just because I haven't really been doing. Those two we checked. So over here, the Grillo, I think, is one that we have some food for. Now, some of this I'm going to bag some of the dried meat. But then a lot of the raw meat we're going to leave so we can make meat wraps. Alright, and we can do a last check with Rhadamant. Okay, we did skip some. So this one here. I'm not fleeing. I'm looting. What about this thing? Yep, that one has not even been looted at all. All you Hive put all the effort into the skins here, and I'm just here to profit. That was a huge nest. If I was smart, I'd go try to find the nest and steal the eggs, but that might be a little too much. Okay, so Voth here will have the bag full of dried meat that we can eat, at least for now, to sustain ourselves, and then we'll go home and turn the rest of the meat into meat wraps, and then put all the foul meat into storage, like this foul meat and this foul meat. So Weekay, you're going to carry that foul meat. I might have people overloaded. I'm not going to worry about that now. I'll just have them trade around until they are all the correct weight. Man, there's so many big things here. Alright, sell off the last of these skins. I think we're just about done. There's a little bit more meat to be had. Rhadamant will grab it, because he can carry it. And then we can all head home. Many thousands times richer than we left. Not many, but I'll even buy a lantern of remembrance, or whatever it's called. Radiance. That makes a lot more sense. Alright, these... What's this one that had the meat? Nope. Apparently I would really very much lose the game of memory. Maybe we have it all. Alright. That's cool. Zavath, you were set to dry out some food. I'm going to have you stop that. Rhadamant, you were doing the same thing. You're going to stop as well. Zavath here has enough food for all of us to eat from. We'll wait around. Now a quick weight check. Voth here is, of course, encumbered considerably. So he will go ahead and ditch some of his weight. So now he's up to 20. 20 is the minimum. So I want everyone above 20. Wow, Beep is... Oh, he's slow because of injuries, I think? Yeah. Maybe not entirely injuries. Squad. Camping. I'm just going to lay down some camp beds for the really injured. The ones that are just probably likely to get immediately knocked out in combat. Like Green. No, Beep. Beep and Miu, at least, were pretty messed up. Alright, week A has too much to carry. All in all, that was very profitable. I'm happy with the outcomes. Alright, who's really messed up? Wing Wing, maybe you're the worst. Yeah. Alright, that all looks good. The rest of this meat, throw it on Rhadamant. Anyone else that's encumbered can trade with Rhadamant. So I think that was week A. And there we go. No longer encumbered. Rhadamant's strong and has a lot of bag storage, so no issues there. They're still fighting over here? Jesus Christ. Big things never end. One of the real dangers of settling in certain territories is you could end up with just an enormous amount of onslaught of fighting. The Gorillo got back up. He was like, I sniff human. Apparently gorillas want to eat humans over everyone else. I was almost sure I that must be a new Gorillo. Because yeah, I was going to say I was almost sure I looted everything. Yo, Gorillo. Because yeah, this other Gorillo I definitely looted. Alright, who can take more weight? Ooh, that was a long load. I guess I could put a trader's backpack on Rhadamant if need be. I'm just trying to figure out who can Sherpa some more. Orin can, right? I think. Alright, you should be able to hold that. Yep. The giant can. Rain. Well, actually, Rain, you can hold a lot more. I'll give you a lot more. Rain. Oh, no, you can't hold all that. Well. Okay. Rain. Hamet. So Hamet needs to ditch some weight. I'm sure there's faster ways to do this, so I apologize that I'm not super fast at this. Most of my trips aren't going to involve this much loot, though. And then Hamet we'll give to Crumble. Okay, so Hamet is good, Crumble's good, everyone's good, everyone's good. Yep, everyone's good. Alright, now there's a little bit more leathers and stuff on these guys that Rhadamant can carry. If I have to leave the sleeping bags behind, so be it. But I think we've hit... there's still this Gorillo, but it's just going to be leather that I'll sell. Why do I flee? I don't flee. We will trade. You hivelings are so weird. Where's your backup? Unprovoked. Just hit me. There, it's down. 2 more trading rounds. And then I'll return home while I'm ahead. I haven't been eaten by any beak things. I gave all the people that were laying on the ground a little bit more time to... Oh, the hive lists are here. Well, we'll keep the rest. That's fine. All the people laying down a little bit more time to recover from whatever injuries that they incurred. Should be pretty easy to find people to haul the rest of this stuff, because it doesn't weigh very much. I just need to find someone with inventory space. Okay, not you, Oren, apparently. You party pooper. Stubbs, you can. Okay, so our slowest mover, let's do a quick... Oh, 18 on week A. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. Someone else with space. Silver, you have space. Okay, everything's been picked up. Now a quick check on speed. 20 or above is what we're going for, so we can actually get home in a reasonable amount of time, and that's what we have. Everyone follows Sadniel. Actually, his run speed was a little bit higher. Everyone follow Ruka. And we have definitely got the food that we came for, and then some, times like 1,000. As you can see, our bags are simply full of food. So, little safari trip definitely paid off, but I am massively over my time. So instead of running all the way home, I'm just going to call it quits here. I really, truly appreciate all of the feedback I'm getting. You're all making me a better Kenshi player, so the more feedback, the merrier. If you'd like to discuss something, Discord is the forum for that. If you have any questions, Discord might also be the forum for that, because I might not be able to answer it myself. I thank you all very dearly for watching. I'm glad that you all got a very lengthy episode today. I hope it doesn't cause any trouble in your scheduling of trying to watch this stuff. So I apologize if that was the case, and I'll catch you all later. Thank you for tuning in. Adios.